What's up everyone, I'm Alana and welcome to my channel. Today my husband Sione and I are off on to run a few errands. Nothing that exciting, but I thought it would be the perfect opportunity to talk about how going after our goals is a lot like a road trip, and the people that we take along with us on the journey has a huge impact on the trip itself, as well as how quickly we're able to reach and attain those goals. What's up everyone, I'm Alana and welcome to my channel. Today my husband Sione and I are off to run a few errands. We're not doing anything too exciting, but I thought it was the perfect opportunity to take some time to talk about how going after our goals and our dreams is a lot like going on a road trip. If you hear that weird noise, it's because it started to hail. There's Sione. Say hi.
What's up?
So one of the things when you're going on a road trip that makes a huge impact is who is with you on the journey. And it's kind of the same thing with when we're going after goals or trying to do something that's outside of our comfort zone that we've never been able to do before, because who we are surrounded by does affect the process and the journey itself. What's the difference between going on a road trip with people that you like versus people that you don't care for?
Chances are if you're in a road trip with people you don't care for, you probably got forced into it. Because if it were me, you'd choose your company. And why would you choose people you don't like to go on long, enclosed space trips with? A few years ago, Alana and I went on a road trip outing with a few of our business friends, and we went down to Zion's National Park with I think 3 other couples, and just to have fun. And that was super fun. And we actually stayed, after we went to the park, we stayed in a hotel room, all 8 of us, and we slept on blow-up mattresses. And these couples were actually pretty wealthy. And not us, but the other couples were, and it was just funny because we decided we'll just all stay in a room because it was more fun that way. And it was pretty fun. It was actually pretty fun.
The people that are with us on this journey aren't always in our control. We control maybe our associations. We control if we choose to bring along somebody like a coach or a mentor that has gone the way and can give us advice on where to go and what to expect. But there are other people that, you know, we don't always have a huge amount of control over it. We have our family members, and we can't always control how they feel and how excited they are about the process that we are going through or the goals that we're trying to achieve. And so some may be more supportive than others, and we'll just have to be flexible about those things. But other things that we can actually control are our associations. We can pick and choose how much time we spend with a lot of these people that are either going to support us or try to hold us back. The speed at which we reach our goals is greatly affected by who we are taking the journey with. For example, the amount of pit stops you need to make and how often you make them. Have you ever been on a road trip with somebody who has to pee all the time and you have to stop a lot, versus when you just keep driving? I don't know. Sione's laughing at me. What's so funny?
Just talked about bathroom stuff. We're good about bathroom stuff.
Sione's family, they make lots of jokes about the bathroom. So another way that going on this journey or trying to achieve a goal is a lot like a road trip is you have to take into account lodging and food, and those are those everyday things that you need to take care of anyways. Say your goal is to start your own side hustle, side business. Maybe you want to start your own small handmade business, and you still need to make sure you put food on the table. You need to take care of your kids, get them to school, sure they have things to eat, to wear, a roof over their head. So you still need to work a full-time job. The same thing goes when you are on a road trip. You still need to make sure you take care of those necessities and figure out those things along the way. However, you do have a little bit of an option on what kinds of food you choose to eat and where you choose to stay. Some will cost more and require more work on your part, and some will cost less. We, like I mentioned, are on a little trip to go run some errands, but we decided to make a little pit stop to grab some food over at Five Guys.
What the hail?
It's such a crazy day. Did you see the hail? Like, we weren't expecting that at all. That's another thing that comes into factor when you are going on a road trip. You don't really have control over certain things like the weather or road condition. And the same thing is the case when it comes to life and trying to reach our goals or do things that we've never done before. Things happen that we have no control over. Somebody might lose a job, somebody might get sick, we might be given more responsibilities at our jobs. Things just happen and we have to just roll with it, whether it sets us back or moves us forward quicker. We just pulled back into the driveway and I thought I'd just kind of sum things up because my thoughts were a little bit all over the place today, but going on a journey to reaching our goals and trying to live our best lives as our best selves, just trying to grow, is a lot like a road trip in the sense that it depends a lot who we're with. When we are with people that encourage and motivate us and even support and help us along the way, it is way more enjoyable and we're able to actually get there probably a lot quicker and just enjoy the process itself. That it doesn't matter if we go through it perfectly and we get there the quickest, because we enjoy the process itself so much more. And there are things that we have to take into account and factor in when we set time frames in setting these goals. We don't have control over everything. Things in life happen just like things on a road trip will happen that we have no control over, like the weather. Today it hailed randomly, but in life or in road trips sometimes we run into road work and that'll slow us down. It'll cause us to have to make detours along the way. Sometimes weather is a factor. If there's a certain type of snowstorm or windstorm that hits, you have to drive a lot slower, and it sometimes is frustrating and it sucks, but if we kind of frame our minds and prepare ourselves to know that those are the things that we're going to have to expect and plan for, we can act accordingly and we can not waste energy being frustrated and take time to actually enjoy the process. Somebody once told me, one of my students that I teach in church mentioned a time when they ended up having a 3-hour delay because of road work, and they took it as an opportunity to stop and watch a movie and go eat at one of their favorite restaurants that we don't have here in town, and ended up being a really cool experience for them. And that's kind of how it is in life when we go after our various goals. Sometimes we just need to roll with the punches and go with the flow. Another thing that we should take into account when we set these goals and as we're going after them is to remember the kind of vehicle that we're in. We should never compare our journey to the person that's next to us. If you are in a minivan full of little kids and that's your situation and that's your life, don't compare yourself to the Porsche or the sports car next to you. It's gonna be a completely different experience, so you shouldn't compare yourself to how quickly or slowly you get to your end destination and to get your end goal. And of course, who you are with on that journey has a huge factor in how quickly you're able to reach your goals. Will you have to take a lot of pit stops and bathroom breaks? Will you have to stop often for food, or will you be able to survive on just snacks? And you know, you still have to take into account those everyday things that you need to take care of. If your goal is to start a side business or side hustle, maybe you want to start a small handmade business like I did, a huge factor is who's coming along with you. Do you have a coach or a mentor? Do you have the GPS? Do you have a map that's going to tell you what to expect along the way? That can help you with managing your emotions and things like that. Definitely make time to enjoy the process, enjoy things along the way. I've gone on so many road trips where we missed out on some really cool experiences because we were in such a rush to just get to the final destination. And in today's little journey, we made one pit stop that I actually am quite happy we decided to make. We saw some Girl Scouts selling Girl Scout cookies, so we pulled on the side, of course, and grabbed a box of my favorites, which are tag-alongs. We love supporting the Girl Scouts, and it's always just really fun, and it's an excuse to eat cookies. Who doesn't like an excuse to eat Girl Scout cookies? And last but not least, now that we are here back home, if one thing that I've noticed when it comes to going after our goals or trying to achieve things that are brand new and how it's like a road trip, is the fact that the journey there often seems to take a long time. It seems like it's taking way longer than we expect. And the funny thing is that the return trip is always faster, or it seems faster, even if it's the same amount of time, because our minds have been prepped. We now know what to expect along the way. We've been through that road, like literally we've been there before, so we know what to expect, and we have landmarks to help us gauge better our emotions and our expectations. And so with that, thanks so much for watching this video. Well, you have a good person with you on the journey. It's always way more fun.